First contact and deception. The Kraxan ships appeared in Earth's orbit on a quiet Sunday morning, their obsidian hulls reflecting the sun like polished glass. They didn't come with threats or demands. They came with an offer. Commander Sarah Chen watched from mission control as their transmission played across every screen worldwide. People of Earth, the alien's voice resonated with an almost musical quality. We are the Kraxan, collectors of the galaxy's finest warriors. We seek your planet's apex predators for our grand arena, where the greatest hunters compete for glory and evolution. Submit your champions, and your world will be rewarded with technological advancement beyond your dreams. Sarah knew better. 15 years in military intelligence had taught her to recognize a trap when she saw one. The Kraxan weren't collectors. They were conquerors who had perfected the art of subjugation through cultural exchange. Within days, the world's governments scrambled to respond. Some nations volunteered their soldiers, others their athletes. The Kraxan accepted them all with an eagerness that sent chills down Sarah's spine. But they hadn't come for just any warriors. They wanted Earth's deadliest hunters. As the global security advisor to the United Nations, Sarah had access to classified files that painted a disturbing picture. Every world the Kraxan had visited followed the same pattern. First came the collection of champions, then the gradual infiltration, and finally, complete domination. The Kraxan's true nature revealed itself slowly. Their ships began appearing over military installations, their scanning technology probing Earth's defenses. They weren't just looking for warriors. They were mapping our weaknesses. Sarah worked in secret, gathering intelligence from every abducted soldier who managed to return. The stories were always the same. The Kraxan's arena was a testing ground, not for sport, but for military assessment. They studied fighting styles, weapons capabilities, and most importantly, how each species responded to defeat. But humans were different. The returned soldiers didn't just bring stories. They brought knowledge. Every moment in captivity was spent studying the Kraxan's technology, their habits, their vulnerabilities. While the aliens thought they were evaluating humanity, humanity was evaluating them. The Kraxan made their first tactical error when they invited Sarah to their command ship as Earth's military liaison. They wanted to showcase their power, to demonstrate why resistance would be futile. Instead, they gave her unprecedented access to their operations. What the Kraxan failed to understand was that humans had evolved not just as predators, but as strategists. Every piece of information Sarah gathered became part of a larger plan. The Kraxan's overconfidence was their weakness. They never considered that their prey might be studying them. As Sarah walked through their massive ship, escorted by guards in crystalline armor, she noticed things the Kraxan thought insignificant. Their technology relied heavily on quantum harmonics. Their ship's hulls, while nearly impenetrable to conventional weapons, had a distinct resonance frequency. Most importantly, they had no concept of nuclear physics. Their entire civilization had evolved along different technological lines. The Kraxan's arrogance reached its peak when they demonstrated their arena combat systems. See how we've conquered every species we've encountered. Their supreme commander boasted. Each one thought they were special. Each one fell before our might. Sarah smiled politely, but her mind was racing. The Kraxan had never faced a species that had spent its entire history preparing for its own extinction. They had never encountered a civilization that had lived under the shadow of mutually assured destruction for decades. They had no idea what humanity was truly capable of. As she returned to Earth, Sarah's report to the Security Council was brief but decisive. The Kraxan aren't invincible. They're predictable. They expect us to fight like every other species they've encountered. It's time to show them why Earth's apex predators aren't found in an arena. The first phase of humanity's response was already in motion. While the Kraxan continued their collection of Earth's warriors, a hidden network of resistance formed in the shadows. Nuclear submarines silently repositioned themselves around the globe. Dormant Cold War facilities hummed back to life. The Kraxan thought they were watching a primitive species scramble to prove itself worthy. Instead, they were watching humanity prepare for a war unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Continued in Part 2. The Underground Resistance. The resistance began not with a bang, but with a whisper. While the Craxans' attention focused on their grand arena spectacles, humanity's real preparation happened in underground bunkers and forgotten military installations around the world. Dr. James Wong, a quantum physicist who had spent his career studying theoretical weapons applications, found himself at the center of Earth's most ambitious defense project. His laboratory, hidden beneath the Rocky Mountains, became the nexus of a global effort to understand and counter Craxan technology. Their biggest weakness, he explained to a room full of military leaders, is their complete ignorance of nuclear science. They've built their entire civilization on quantum manipulation. They literally cannot conceive of splitting atoms for energy or weapons. The resistance grew organically, spreading through secure networks that the Craxans' advanced technology couldn't detect. Old Cold War protocols, once thought obsolete, became humanity's greatest advantage. While the aliens monitored digital communications, Earth's defenders used methods so primitive they were invisible to advanced scanning. Sarah Chen, now operating from a mobile command center, coordinated the global response. The plan was unprecedented in human history, every nuclear power working in perfect concert, setting aside decades of mistrust for survival. The Craxans' arena battles continued, but now they served a different purpose. Each captured soldier, each forced gladiator, carried with them carefully selected information. When they escaped, as they were meant to, they brought back critical intelligence about Craxan weaknesses. Meanwhile, in secret facilities across the globe, human scientists worked to combine their understanding of nuclear physics with what they'd learned about Craxan technology. Dr. Wong's team made the crucial breakthrough, a way to mask nuclear signatures using the aliens' own quantum field technology against them. The Resistance's greatest asset was the Craxans' own belief in their superiority. They saw humans as primitive warriors, worthy only of entertainment. They never suspected that every arena battle, every diplomatic meeting, every demonstration of their power was being meticulously studied and analyzed. Sarah's network grew. Underground bases connected through old mine shafts and subway tunnels. Military personnel moved in shadows, preparing for a confrontation that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of humanity. The Craxans' supreme commander, convinced of his species' dominance, began the next phase of their standard conquest protocol. They established bases on Earth's surface, massive structures that towered over human cities. These weren't just military installations, they were statements of power. But each Craxan base was unknowingly built above carefully positioned nuclear weapons, buried so deep that their quantum sensors couldn't detect them. Every apparent submission to Craxan authority masked another piece of humanity's master plan. Dr. Wong's team made another critical discovery. The Craxans' quantum communication network, which they believed unbreakable, had a fundamental flaw. It couldn't maintain coherence in the presence of specific radiation frequencies, the exact kind produced by a carefully controlled nuclear reaction. The Resistance's preparation reached its final stages. Hidden factories produced specialized nuclear devices designed to exploit Craxan weaknesses. Submarine captains received sealed orders. Military units around the world stood ready, waiting for a signal that would begin humanity's most ambitious counterattack. Sarah Chen, standing in the underground command center, looked at the global readiness board. Humanity had never been more united, more focused, more prepared. The Craxan thought they were watching Earth's final submission to their power. They were about to learn why humans were the galaxy's deadliest species. Continued in Part 3. Operation Shadow Strike. Operation Shadow Strike began at midnight GMT, when humanity finally showed its true nature as apex predators. The Craxan never saw it coming. They were too busy celebrating their apparent victory over Earth's surface. The first phase was subtle. Quantum disruption devices, based on Dr. Wong's research, activated simultaneously around every major Craxan installation. Their supposedly unbreakable communications network suddenly filled with static and confusion. Sarah Chen, watching from the mobile command center, gave the order that would change the course of human history. Initialize Shadow Protocol. Across the globe, nuclear submarines surfaced in perfect synchronization. But they didn't launch traditional missiles. They fired specially designed warheads that combine nuclear power with Craxon quantum technology. The aliens' early warning systems, designed to detect conventional weapons, never registered the threat. The Craxon's response was predictable. They followed their standard protocol for planetary subjugation, never realizing they were playing directly into humanity's hands. Their ships moved to predetermined defensive positions, exactly where Earth's military strategists wanted them. Underground resistance cells emerged from hiding, but not to engage in direct combat. Instead, they activated electromagnetic pulse generators modified with Dr. Wang's quantum interference technology. The Craxon's advanced weapons, their impenetrable shields, their sophisticated targeting systems, all relied on quantum coherence that was now compromised. The aliens' confusion turned to panic as their technology began to fail. Their mighty warships, suddenly vulnerable, found themselves surrounded by a species they had gravely underestimated. Sarah's voice carried across secure channels worldwide. Execute Phase 2. The true power of human ingenuity revealed itself. Nuclear devices, hidden beneath Craxon bases, detonated not to destroy but to create precisely calculated radiation fields. These fields formed a complex web that trapped the alien ships in quantum deadlocks, rendering their advanced technology useless. Dr. Wang's theories proved correct. The Craxon had no defense against this combination of primitive and advanced warfare. Their ships, once seemingly invincible, hung helpless in Earth's orbit. The resistance fighters emerged from their hidden bunkers, armed with weapons that married human determination with stolen alien technology. They moved like shadows through the quantum disruption fields, systematically dismantling the Craxon's ground forces. The alien's supreme commander, watching his invasion force crumble, finally understood the terrible truth. Humans weren't just physical predators, they were intellectual ones. Every defeat in the arena, every apparent submission, had been calculated to lower Craxon defenses. Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of a captured Craxon vessel, surrounded by resistance fighters who had trained for this moment. The alien technology, once incomprehensible, now bent to human will. The predator had become the prey. The Craxon's mighty arena, where they had showcased their dominance over countless species, now served as a prison for their own leaders. Humanity had turned their symbol of power into a monument to their defeat. Continued in Part 4. The nuclear option. The nuclear option wasn't just about destruction. It was about evolution. While the Craxon reeled from Operation Shadow Strike, humanity unveiled the full extent of its technological revolution. Dr. Wang's team had achieved what the aliens thought impossible. They had created stable nuclear fusion reactions that could be controlled through quantum fields. This wasn't just a weapon. It was a new form of energy that could reshape the galaxy. Sarah Chen, now recognized as humanity's chief strategist, presented the Craxon Supreme Commander with a choice. "You can retreat," she said, "or you can witness firsthand why humans are the apex predators you sought." The Craxon's response was desperate and predictable. They launched their remaining fleet in a last-ditch effort to overwhelm Earth's defenses. They still didn't understand. Humanity wasn't fighting a conventional war. Nuclear-powered quantum disruptors activated in Earth's orbit, creating a web of energy that the Craxon couldn't comprehend. Their ships, trying to push through the barrier, found their quantum technologies not just disabled but reversed. The Resistance's greatest triumph wasn't in defeating the Craxon. It was in forcing them to recognize humanity's true nature. Humans weren't just warriors who could be tested in an arena. They were innovators who had turned the aliens' own technology against them. Dr. Wang's final breakthrough changed everything. His team had developed a way to use controlled nuclear reactions to generate quantum fields more powerful than anything the Craxon had ever encountered. Earth's defenders didn't just fight the aliens. They rewrote the rules of warfare. The nuclear option wasn't about mutual destruction. It was about transcendence. Each detonation was precisely calculated, not to destroy but to create new possibilities. The quantum barriers around Earth became impenetrable, but also revealed paths to technologies beyond even the Craxen's understanding. Continued in Part 5, Victory Among the Stars. The final phase of humanity's emergence as a galactic power wasn't marked by destruction, but by transformation. The Craxen fleet, once mighty and fearsome, now drifted powerless in Earth's orbit, their quantum technology rendered obsolete by human ingenuity. Sarah Chen stood before the United Nations, no longer just a military strategist, but a symbol of humanity's potential. "We didn't just defend our world," she declared. "We proved that humans are more than the sum of our physical abilities. We are innovators, adapters, survivors." Dr. Wang's discoveries had opened doors the Craxen never imagined possible. Human scientists, combining nuclear physics with quantum mechanics, began developing technologies that would reshape the galaxy's understanding of what was possible. The Craxen's supreme commander, speaking from captivity, finally acknowledged the truth. "We sought the galaxy's greatest predators," he admitted, "but we found something far more powerful, a species that turns its predatory nature into progress." The Resistance transformed into Earth's first unified space defense force. Underground bunkers became research centers, studying the marriage of human and alien technology. The arena where the Craxen had tested their captives became a symbol of transformation, a place where species could meet as equals, not as predator and prey. Humanity's victory wasn't just military, it was philosophical. The galaxy learned that true strength wasn't measured in physical combat or technological superiority, but in the ability to adapt, to innovate, to transform weakness into strength. Sarah Chen's final report to the Security Council wasn't about war or defense. It was about the future. "The Craxen taught us something valuable," she concluded. "They showed us that humanity's greatest weapon isn't our capacity for violence. It's our capacity for evolution." The stars, once distant and unreachable, now beckoned with new possibility. Humanity had proven itself not just as Earth's apex predator, but as a species ready to take its place among the stars. The galaxy would never be the same.